Hey everyone, in this video we are tackling the biggest raid boss in Final Fantasy XIV, and that is figuring out which edition of the game to pick up, and also taking a look at the different websites you're going to have to visit in order to actually get a subscription and play the full version of the game. So that's my goal in this video, to walk you through some of those websites, tell you the differences between the different versions of the game and when you should purchase what, and generally just to help make this process easier for you. Now, one caveat here is this is a PC guide, so if you're playing on console, it's going to be a little bit different for you. But I'm assuming that most of you guys are playing on PC, and this is going to help the most people, so that's what we're doing. All right, let's jump in and take a look at the websites that you're going to be using when you are managing your Final Fantasy XIV account, progress, etc. So the first website here is the Square Enix store. Now, this is the main storefront for purchasing things for Final Fantasy XIV. Alternatively, you can purchase the game through Steam as well, and I'll be periodically jumping in to let you know how things work on Steam, and we'll also be taking a look at the Steam page at the end of the video just to walk you through where everything that we talk about prior to that is located on that page. Regardless, even if you purchase the game through Steam, you're still going to need a Square Enix account in order to access the game and manage your subscription, so you got to get that either way. Now, here's the simplest thing to explain the Square Enix store. You need this website to purchase the game and get the codes. That's basically it. Whatever edition of the game you're purchasing, you'll do that through the Square Enix store, which will allow you to download the game, install it, and launch it from its own launcher, independent of Steam or any other platform, or you can purchase the game and get the codes via Steam. But if you're doing it through the Square Enix store, that's all you're doing. Purchase the game, get the codes. After that, you're going to be managing everything else at Mogstation. You can get here by going to mogstation.com. This is the account management page or website for Final Fantasy XIV. This is where you're going to take those codes that you got and plug them in to redeem the product on your account. This is where you're going to manage your subscription payments. This is where you're going to purchase additional options like race changes, server changes, name changes. It's also where you're going to purchase additional optional items that you can get from the cash shop, such as character boosts, story skips, mounts, minions, housing items, etc., etc. All that stuff is done through Mogstation. So once you've got your games, you've got your codes, you're basically done with Square Enix, you're done with the Steam store, and you're on to Mogstation. This is where you're going to log in to mess with your account 99% of the time. There's one other website that you might see around, which is the Lodestone. The Lodestone is the community website for Final Fantasy XIV. This is where you're going to find the forums, you're going to find guides, your character profile, stuff about your free company. You're going to find news like server maintenance, actions taken against botting, news announcements, events, etc., etc. All that stuff's going to be here on the Lodestone. So if you're trying to look at what's the latest thing going on with Final Fantasy, or get involved with the community in forums, or looking for guides, all that stuff will be on the Lodestone. So those are the 3 or 4, if you want to count Steam, websites that you're going to be messing with when you are getting involved with Final Fantasy XIV. The Square Enix store or Steam to purchase the game and get your codes. Mogstation to manage your account, subscriptions, all your cash shop items, and account purchases. And then the Lodestone as your community website. So we got those out of the way. Let's talk about the different editions of the game that you can pick up and what they offer you, and when you should get what. So in the first scenario, you're a brand new player to Final Fantasy XIV. You never played the game before, and you just want to try it out, but you really don't want to spend any money on it. Well, you need to get into the free trial. To do that, you're going to go to FFXIV.com. You're going to see this screen. It's going to ask you to pick your language and region. Once you do that, it's going to pop you over to this website where, hey, look, it's a Lodestone. I told you, you'll see it around. But you're going to go ahead and click on this yellow Start Your Free Trial button. That's going to pop you up to another website. But you're just going to hit Sign Up Now, and that's going to take you to sign up for your Square Enix account. And from here, you can proceed to download the game and play the trial. If you're over on Steam, you can just scroll down and hit Download Demo, and that will also get you the free trial. Now, the free trial of the game lets you play the base game, which is called A Realm Reborn, and the first expansion, which is called Heavensward. This will let you play up to level 60. The current max level is 80 and includes 2 additional expansions. So playing the free trial will let you play base game and 1 out of 3 current expansions. It's a lot of content. There's plenty for you to do, plenty for you to play for free. There are, however, some restrictions with the free trial. There are things you can't do. You can't add friends to your friends list. You can't start a party. You can join one, but you can't start one. You can't join a free company, etc. So there are some restrictions, but for the most part, you can play the game and enjoy the game and try it entirely for free. But let's say you're done with that. You're sold. You're in. You're ready to make the jump and actually spend some money on Final Fantasy XIV. To do that, we're going to take a look at the different editions of the game that are available. So, if we head over here to the Square Enix store, and again, I'll show you where these things are at on the Steam store as well, if that's the option you're looking for. And we type in Final Fantasy FFXIV into the search, and then over on our filters, we're going to hit PC download. That's going to come up with 8 products for us. We've got 2 standard editions of Inwalker. We've got 2 versions of Shadowbringers. We've got a 60-day code. We've got the starter edition, the complete edition, and the collector's edition of Inwalker. And we're basically going to cover everything except for the 60-day time code. That's pretty self-explanatory. So, let's take a look at the cheapest option, the Final Fantasy XIV Online Starter Edition. So, this is available for $19.99 US, and this includes the base game, A Realm Reborn, and the first expansion, Heavensward. Now, you may be asking yourself, why? Why would I purchase this? It's available in the free trial. Well, if you want to start a subscription so that you can have the fully featured version of Final Fantasy XIV, where you can start your own party, you can join a free company, you can friend request people and trade and everything else and have all the restrictions from the free trial lifted, then you've got to have some version of the game purchased. And this is the cheapest way to do that. So like I said, this comes with the base game, the first expansion, and it also includes 30 days of subscription time. A subscription for Final Fantasy XIV costs $15 US, so effectively you're paying for your first month subscription plus $5 for the base game and the first expansion. It's definitely your cheapest option, and again, you'll just be playing up to about level 60, but you'll have all the restrictions lifted from you. So, what's your next option? Well, that's going to be the Final Fantasy XIV Online Complete Edition. Now, the Complete Edition is for the people who want to play beyond Heavensward. And there's a big caveat here that we're going to talk about in a minute. But let's talk about what's included. For $60 US, you get the base game, the first expansion, Heavensward, the second expansion, Stormblood, and the third and current expansion, Shadowbringers. This gets you all the content available for Final Fantasy XIV, all in one package for $60, and it does include 30 days of free playtime. So you're paying $15 for your subscription, and then you're paying about $45 for the base game and all 3 current expansions. So if you want to play all the content for Final Fantasy XIV, this is the way to go. But here's the caveat. There's a new expansion coming out in November, and I would highly encourage you to think about whether or not you think you're going to make it to Heavensward and play all the content, hit level 60, and want to play Stormblood and or Shadowbringers afterwards. Because if you are, then sweet. Go ahead, get this online complete edition, and you can hopefully level up and get to max level before Endwalker comes out. If you think that it's going to take you a while to level, you're going to take the time, experience the story, you're not worried about getting to max level before Endwalker comes out, don't get this. Get the starter edition. And the reason for that is simple, and that brings us to Endwalker, the new expansion coming out November 23rd. Endwalker is going to include Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Inwalker. the 3 latest expansions when this comes out, which means in order to play all that stuff, all you need is A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, which you get in the starter edition of the game. So, the starter edition of the game costs you $19.99. Pre-ordering the base version of Inwalker costs you $39.99 US for a total of $60. So for $60, you can get all the content in the game, including the upcoming new expansion. But the catch here is that Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Inwalker, if you purchase it this way, will not be available until Inwalker actually comes out. So if you play through A Realm Reborn, you play through Heavensward, and it's October, and you're like, I want to play more, you are out of luck because you will have to wait until November 23rd when Inwalker launches to play all that other content. That's why I said if you don't think that you're going to get through Heavensward, or you're not worried about being max level when Inwalker comes out, this is the way to go. However, if you're trying to hit max level before the new expansion, or you just want to not hit a wall where you have to stop leveling and wait for a while, then you're going to want to go ahead and get that complete edition, which is going to cost you $60, and then also get Inwalker, which will cost you an additional $40 for $100 total. So that's going to allow you to just play all the way to max level, not hit any walls or anything like that, and not worry about when Inwalker comes out because you'll already own Stormblood and Shadowbringers, so you can play those as soon as you want to. So real quick, let's recap that before we get into collector's editions and stuff. Starter edition gets you what the free trial gives you, but without the restrictions, and it gives you 30 days of game time. The complete edition gives you all the current content plus 30 days of game time, and then Inwalker will give you everything up to Inwalker except for the base game and Heavensward, which you need in order to play Inwalker. And you'll get that either through the online starter edition or through the online complete edition. So either one of these that you buy, you'll be good for Inwalker. And if you're not worried about hitting max level before Inwalker, you're going to take your time, then just buying the starter edition and Inwalker and waiting until November 23rd to play anything past Heavensward is the cheapest way for you to get Final Fantasy XIV. However, if you don't want to hit any walls, you want to go hard, you want to get max level before Inwalker comes out, then the online complete edition and Inwalker is the way to go. Now, I do want to point out that there is a pre-order bonus for Inwalker. So if you pre-order the game, the base edition, you get a pet, you get early access to Inwalker, which I don't know how much that's going to matter because I'm pretty sure the servers will be on fire, so I don't know how much I value that. But you get Minfinia's Earring, which gives you a 30% XP boost up to level 80, which is the current cap. And you can keep using these earrings even after Inwalker comes out when you're leveling anything that's under level 80. So this is a nice, huge boost to your leveling speed. And like I said, you can use this in the future for those alt jobs. So I did want to point that out to you. If you're planning on picking up Inwalker, and you can, you might as well go ahead and pre-order it, get those earrings, and just help yourself get to max level a lot faster. So, moving on, we're going to talk about collector's editions. Do not buy Shadowbringers, the collector's edition. Okay, just don't buy this. At this point in time, it's not really a smart purchase. You do have the option to purchase or pre-order the Inwalker Digital Collector's Edition, and this comes with a few extra items. It comes with a mount, another minion, and a weapon transmog, the Death Scythe. So if you want to purchase that, you can. It's going to run you $60 instead of $40. That's the way this works. The standard edition of the expansion is $40, and the collector's edition is $60, so there's a $20 difference. But what I wanted to point out to you is over on Mogstation, you can purchase the collector's edition upgrade whenever you want. So you don't need fear of missing out or FOMO to force you into getting a collector's edition for the game, because you can come back later on and drop the $20 difference on whatever set of items you want. So instead of, getting the collector's editions of Shadowbringers or whatever, you can just come in later and buy the upgrade for $20 once you own Shadowbringers, which you'll get through the complete edition of the game or from ordering Inwalker. So don't let that push you into buying this stuff, the collector's edition, over the base edition if you don't want to. I'm sure once Inwalker comes out, that'll get added to this as an option as well. Outside of that, we're good. Now, there are a couple other scenarios here where you may be a returning player or someone who has played before. In those scenarios, your purchasing options are going to be a little bit different because you already own some content. If you already own A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, then you're either going to need to purchase Shadowbringers, which will give you Stormblood and Shadowbringers, or you can go ahead and order Inwalker if you think you're going to wait until that comes out, and that'll give you Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Inwalker. If you already own Shadowbringers, then you're just pre-ordering Inwalker. Pretty straightforward. Now, the last thing we're going to do here in the video is take a quick look at the Steam page so I can show you guys where this stuff is. We've got the free trial for download demo. We've got the online starter edition right here for 20 bucks. We've got the complete edition, which says it contains Final Fantasy XIV and Shadowbringers. Shadowbringers includes Stormblood. So if you're looking for Stormblood, it's not going to be here because it's just included when you purchase Shadowbringers, okay? That can be confusing for some people. I just want to clarify that right here. And then finally, down here, you can purchase Shadowbringers or Inwalker. And like I said, the case where you want to purchase Shadowbringers is pretty much only if you already own the base game and you want to play through Stormblood and Shadowbringers because you're coming back. Otherwise, you can head over to the Inwalker page where you can pre-order the standard edition or the collector's edition here. All right, you guys, I know that was a lot, but I wanted to make a really comprehensive video to hopefully answer all the questions you might have about these websites and which edition of the game you should purchase and everything else. So I'm hoping that this video has accomplished that and it's helped you out and cleared up some of the confusion around purchasing the game. If you have any additional questions or you ran into a situation that I didn't cover, please post it in the comment section below. I'll do my best to help you figure it out. That being said, I am not Square Enix support, so if you have account issues or anything like that, you need to go to them, not me. I'm just a random guy trying to help you out and explain some stuff for you, which I'll do to the best of my ability, but I'm not tech support. So if you need tech support, go to tech support. All right, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I want to encourage you, check the description below. You can check out my server. I've got a free company there. I am recruiting. Right now, we're just playing and trying to prep for Endwalker. But in the future, I want to be doing hard mode PvE content and just generally enjoying the game together. Not just purely hardcore PvE content, but, doing all the casual stuff as well. But I am trying to look for people that are kind of wanting to tackle some harder difficulty stuff later on, further into Endwalker, after we've all had time to enjoy the story and the content that comes out. So, yeah, if you want to come play with me, check out the description below for details on all that stuff. All right, everybody, I hope you're having fun, and I'll catch you on the next video.